Welcome to CVR English. This is Naresh Kumar. Let's watch the world news. Colombia witnessed one of its deadliest coordinated attacks in recent years, leaving at least 17 people dead and dozens injured, according to the authorities. Descendants of the defunct Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia were behind two brutal assaults. A car bomb threat detonated near a military aviation school in Cali, killing 5 and injuring over 30, and a drone attack on a police helicopter in Antioquia, which claimed that lives of 12 officers. The helicopter was reportedly involved in coca crop eradication operations when it was targeted. President Gustavo Petro initially blamed the Gulf Clan drug cartel, but later identified FARC dissidents as the key perpetrators. These incidents underscore Colombia's escalating security crisis amid rising coca cultivation and intensifying violence from rebel remnants and drug cartels.
Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5, with 14 wounded, all civilians, as far as I'm aware. Collected shows that 8 members, while on a mission to eradicate coca leaf crops. The death toll in Cali has now risen to 5.
A powerful explosion tore through the fireworks warehouse near Sadar Parking Plaza on Jinnah Road in Karachi, Pakistan, leaving 3 people dead and over 30 injured, including several in critical condition. The blast, which occurred around 3:30 p.m., triggered a massive fire and shook nearby buildings, sending residents fleeing in panic. Rescue teams rushed to the scene, deploying 10 fire tenders and emergency crews to contain the blaze and evacuate victims. Among the deceased was a 16-year-old madrasa student, while dozens suffered burn injuries and shrapnel wounds from shattered glass. Authorities condemned the illegal storage of fireworks in a densely populated area. Noting previous violations at the site, legal action against the warehouse owners in underway.
मेजेना रोड है। ये फायरवर्क्स की एक शॉप थी जिसके अंदर एक धमाका और उसके बाद आग लग गई, जिसमें अब तक जो है 25 से ज़्यादा अफराद जख्मी हुए हैं, जिन्हें जिना और सिविल हॉस्पिटल मुंतकिल किया गया है। मजीद इमदादी सरगर्मियाँ जारी हैं, चेक किया जा रहा है।
On US-EU trade deal, White House trade advisor Peter Navarro says, for many years the European Union was taking unfair advantage of the United States, even when we wanted to the World Trade Organization and won on things like agriculture cases. The EU refused to cooperate. We have a massive trade deficit with the EU, which is a great threat to our national and economic security. It's an emergency that we are dealing with. This was an important mountain to climb. President Trump has gone to the top of that mountain today. In many ways, the Ukraine situation has been total wake-up call for Europe. We are sharing in completely new and beautiful spirit and environment of cooperation with Europe. Nobody would have imagined the success of this. Anybody who criticizes the Trump trade policy, including the courts right now, simply has to look at this magnificent achievement that President Trump has secured, not just for the American people, but for Europe and the security of the world.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's do the European. So let me just say a few words on the European Union deal, because in many ways I can think of no deal more important than with the European Union. I mean, it is, after all, one of the largest entities in the world. It's so important, not just economically, but strategically. But for many, many years, it has been taking unfair advantage of the United States. Consistently higher tariffs, consistently higher non-tariff barriers. And even when we have gone to the World Trade Organization and won on things like agricultural cases, the EU has refused to cooperate. And so we've been in a situation where Germany sells us 7 cars for every one we sell them. We have a massive trade deficit with the EU. The trade deficit itself, writ large, is a great threat to our national security and economic security, and it's an emergency that we're dealing with. So this is like a really important mountain to climb, and we climbed that. And President Trump got up to the top of the mountain today. So let me, for those of you who haven't read the news yet, I mean, look, think about this. We get Europe reducing all their tariffs to zero. We continue our global tariff to fight the trade deficit at 15%. Wow. Secondly, we will impose 15% tariffs on autos. It's a drop from the 25, but remember, before President Trump took office, the tariff was 2.5% compared to 10 in Europe. So that's a great win. We maintain completely our tariffs on steel and aluminum without exemptions or exclusions. We're getting $750 billion worth of LNG purchases. We're getting $600 billion of investment here in the U.S. in our strategic sectors that we need to secure our supply chains and make them resilient. And we're getting Europe to buy more of our arms in cooperation with the uplifted NATO effort. I mean, in many ways, the Ukraine situation has been a total wake-up call for Europe. And so we're ushering a completely new and beautiful spirit and environment of cooperation with Europe, and nobody would have imagined this. Lawfare? Okay, let's go.
President Donald Trump visited law enforcement and National Guard troops in Washington, praising them for their role in his crime crackdown and saying he will seek congressional funding for his DC intervention and beautification plans.
Thank you all. President, I'm looking at all these faces. They're out here every single night. I'm getting to know everyone on a first-name basis. All of our great Metro PD, General Blanchard with the Guard, all of our federal agencies are out here, our amazing park police. They are working hand in hand to make DC safe. They're out here working midnights every night because they love our country, they love our city, and they love you. They're all telling me that. Are we going to get to meet, look at them getting a thumbs up. They're all out here going, are we going to meet the president? I told you. So, and I think you brought some food for him, didn't you, President?
So we have great hamburgers cooked by the White House, and we have pizza that I said don't do it in the White House because we went to a place that makes the best pizza. So we'll concede. But we have a lot of it, so we're going to have some fun. We'll eat, and I'll eat with you, and we're going to have a little fun. We're going to celebrate, but then we're going to get back to work, and we're going to take care of these criminals. We're going to put them where they have to be. You're going to say, don't play around with us. Don't play around with us. So let's go have something to eat. You're going to like the hamburgers? Would you rather have hamburgers from the White House or pizzas from a good place, huh? I think they want the hamburgers. Have a good time, everybody. Thank you very much. Christy, thank you very much, darling. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Wait a minute. Give me that mic. Okay. I didn't see you. Judge Janine is here. She's unbelievable. We have Leo 2.0. Whoa. Judge, I didn't see you over there. It's lucky I spotted her. I would have been in big trouble. And Leo, Leo 2.0, we love Leo. He's a great prosecutor, that's for sure. They both started off really as law enforcement and top lawyers and judges and law enforcement, and that's how they became famous. Then they went into show business, and everyone thought, gee, were they real? But they were the real deal, and you're both doing great. Thank you very much. Pam, do you want to say something? Janine, please.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you. Every night when you hit the street, You make a difference not just for us, but for everyone in the district. They are grateful for what you do. They are thankful. And I am making sure that we back the blue to the hilt. Every arrest you make, we're going to the longest way to make sure that we charge in those cases. So God bless you and thank you for what you do. You're making a difference. And Mr. President, without you, no one would even have tried. So thank you.
30 seconds. We have the greatest president in our lifetime protecting this country, and you guys have done a great job. And I've had the privilege to work with the greatest Attorney General in Pam Bondi. This team really appreciate you. We want to thank you. You are doing the work that makes this country great, protecting America. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you all. President, I'm looking at all these faces. They're out here every single night. I'm getting to know everyone on a first.
The California legislature approved a redistricting package aimed at the giving Democrats 5 more seats in the U.S. Congress, countering a partisan advantage President Donald Trump hoped to gain from a similar Republican plan to redraw political maps in Texas.
Will we say that the voters just couldn't be trusted to make a hard, complicated decision like this? No. This is what this vote is about. Let the voters make the decision. We've heard them, and we are responding, and they are the ultimate judges of whether this is the right way forward. The voters of California are sovereign, regardless of Article J. They are sovereign. They have the authority, they have the legitimacy, and with ACA, they will have the power to make this right. Madam President, I urge an aye vote.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Alvarado Gil. Archuleta. Aye. Adeguin. Aye. Ashby. Aye. Becker. Aye. Blakespear. Aye. Cabaldon. Aye. Caballero. Aye. Cervantes. Aye. Choi. No. Cortezi. Aye. Daly. No. Durazo. Aye. Gonzalez. Aye. Grayson. Aye. Grove. No. Hurtado. Aye. Jones. No. Laird. Aye. Limon. Aye. McGuire. Aye. McNerney. Aye. Menjivar. Aye. Nilo. No. Ochoa Bog. No. Padilla. Aye. Perez. Aye. Reyes. Aye. Richardson. Rubio. Aye. Cigarto. Smallwood Cuevas. Aye. Stern. Aye. Strickland. No. Umbert. Aye. Valadares. No. Wahab. Aye. Weber Pearson.
Aye.
Aye. Wiener. Aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Alvarado Gil. Richardson. Aye. Cigarto.
Ayes 30, noes 8. That measure passes. Thank you. Seeing no further discussion or debate, Senator Cervantes, would you like to close?
Thank you, Madam President. On November 4th, Californians have a choice. Let Trump cheat or punch back. Take back your agency, take it back at the ballot box, take it back for California and for the country.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Alvarado Gil.
California voters will decide in November whether to approve a redrawn congressional map designed to help Democrats win 5 more U.S. House seats next year. After Texas Republicans advanced their own redrawn map to pad their House majority by the same number of seats at President Donald Trump's urging.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To all of the leaders that are assembled here today, thank you for an outstanding job. Thank you for your faith and devotion to this larger cause, democracy that I think should unite all of us, regardless of our political party and political stripes. Let me just briefly reinforce, because I'm eager to sign a bill that no other governor in U.S. history has ever signed, a bill that will put the maps in front of the voters. We will be the first state in U.S. history to, in the most democratic way, submit to the people of our state the ability to determine their own maps. That simply has not been done. But I want to first just briefly back up and pick up a little bit on what the Speaker and the Pro Tem said, and just remind everybody what they reminded you that need to be reminded, all of us again, of how we got here. We got here because the President of the United States is struggling. We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. We got here because of his failed policies. Those are being exposed hour by hour, reinforced today by Walmart announcing they'll be raising prices because of the tax increases, because of the tariffs. Reminded every day by a slowing economy, growing mistrust, distrust all across this nation. Across the board, he is failing. He recognized that, and that's why he made a phone call to Greg Abbott asking for 5 seats. Can't win by playing by traditional sets of rules. He plays by no rules. I remind you all the time, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of dawn. And we're standing up to that. We're responding to that. They fired the first shot, Texas. We wouldn't be here had Texas not done what they just did. Donald Trump didn't do what he just did. He went so far as to follow up and say that he didn't just want those 5 seats. He said he's, quote unquote, entitled to those 5 seats. Just pause and reflect on that. Everything should have just stopped there. President of the United States claiming he's entitled to 5 seats. That should put chills up your spine. Every Republican, not just Democrat and Independent, every American. Those enduring values that we celebrate, just celebrated 249 years, the best of the Roman Republic, Greek democracy, the rule of law, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty. What we'll celebrate, will we? Next year, the 250th anniversary. Masked men at the site of the Japanese that were interned and bussed. Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To all of the leaders that are assembled here today, thank you for an outstanding job. Thank you for your faith and devotion to this larger cause, democracy that I think should unite all of us, regardless of our political party and political stripes. Let me just briefly reinforce, because I'm eager to sign.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the Gaza divisions to approve the IDF's strategic plan to take control of Gaza City and dismantle Hamas. Calling it a decisive phase in the conflict, Netanyahu emphasized that defeating Hamas and securing the release of hostages are interconnected goals. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Avial Jamir presented a multi-division strategy supported by tens of thousands of reservists. Limited operations have already begun in our areas like Jabalia and Jaytion. Netanyahu also instructed officials to initiate negotiations aimed at ending the war on Israel's terms. The visit marks a significant escalation combining military force with diplomatic efforts to achieve the national security objectives.
אנחנו בשלב ההכרעה. אני הגעתי היום לאוגדת עזה כדי לאשר את התוכניות שצה"ל הציג בפניי, לשר הביטחון, להשתלטות על העיר עזה ולהכרעת החמאס. אני מאוד מעריך את ההתייצבות של חיילי המילואים וכמובן של הצבא הסדיר למען המטרה החיונית הזאת. במקביל אני הנחיתי להתחיל במשא ומתן מיידי על שחרור כל חטופינו וסיום המלחמה בתנאים שמקובלים על ישראל. שני הדברים הללו, הכרעת החמאס ושחרור כל חטופינו, הולכים יד ביד. אנחנו בשלב ההכרעה. אני הגעתי היום לאוגדת עזה כדי לאשר את התוכניות שצה"ל הציג בפניי, לשר הביטחון, להשתלטות על העיר עזה ולהכרעת החמאס. אני מאוד מעריך את ההתייצבות של חיילי המילואים וכמובן של הצבא הסדיר למען המטרה החיונית הזאת. במקביל אני הנחיתי להתחיל במשא ומתן מיידי על שחרור כל חטופינו וסיום המלחמה בתנאים שמקובלים על ישראל. שני הדברים הללו, הכרעת החמאס ושחרור כל חטופינו, הולכים.
During a joint press conference with Russian Foreign Ministry Sergei Lavrov in Moscow on August 21, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar addressed criticism surrounding India's energy trade with Russia. He clarified that China and the European Union are the largest buyers of Russian oil and LNG, not India. Jaishankar questioned the inconsistent media narratives targeting India, especially when the United States itself has called for global energy market stability, including encouraging Indian oil purchases from both Russia and the US. He emphasized that India's energy decisions are based on national interest and market realities. The remark underscored India's balanced approach to global energy dynamics amid shifting geopolitical tensions. That's the wrap up of the world news. Keep watching CVR English News.
This is Dr.